You're such an asshole.
Asshole Consulting, blah, blah, blah. I'm busy, gotta make money. Sent to Canada. I was looking for some help on what the fuck I should do with my life. I'm in grade 11 and living in Toronto right now. I work 2 minimum jobs. One as a cashier at a grocery store and one tutoring young kids in math and English. Good. I also run a small business buying and selling sneakers. Don't worry, not Velcro ones. And over the past year, I've made about $6 or $7 grand doing a few hours of work a month from it. That is awesome. I have about 4,000 or 5,000 in savings and another couple thousand in sneakers. I've bought for myself through my business. Oh, I'm sorry. And you have another couple thousand in sneakers you've bought for yourself through the business. Well, I hope you're going to sell them. I don't know what one person does with $2,000 worth of sneakers. I have also self-taught myself Spanish to a conversational level at this point. Anyways, I've pretty much narrowed down what I might like to do to 3 choices, and if you could give me some advice on them and potentially outline a few pathways to get where I want to be, that would be great. All right, let's go through. 1, I could head into business school. No! Probably the most educational, stimulating of the group. I could potentially major in something like accounting or actuarial science. All right, if those are your 2 choices, then yeah, fine. I'm getting A's in school right now. My IQ is tested about the 120 range in the past, so I believe I should be able to get into one of the top business schools in Canada if I really put my mind to it. My parents are willing to pay 2/3 of my schooling, and I'm also eligible for a few thousand in grants, just under 10 grand in loans from the government because I live with a single mother. The single mother, so heroic. I could see myself being an accountant or actuary one day, but it would take so damn long to do. Yeah, dude, it's going to take you a while to get there. Yep. Actuary especially. And in accounting, I'd almost say it's not even worth going into accounting unless you want to become a CPA. But yeah, and I know you're young. You're only, 17? So 4 years seems like forever. Yeah, because 4 years is like 25% of your life already. But that's what it's going to take. 2, the trades. I'm pretty interested in 2 trades at the moment, masonry and welding. I've always appreciated the art of brickwork, so I feel like masonry would be a rewarding job for me. I called up a couple of masonry companies to ask a couple questions about the trade, and they're so desperate for employees right now that one of them hired me to be a bricklayer's assistant next summer without even meeting me in person. Holy shit. He even said they realistically could hire 6 more assistants to meet their demand for projects at the moment. Well, keep in mind, it's probably because of the housing boom going on. And all those Asian people buying all those properties. Pay is even like $20 an hour. Overall job prospects look pretty good right now. It looks like if I move out west to the Edmonton area, oh yeah, oil boom, I could be making something like $40 an hour, Canadian dollars, with 1 or 2 years experience. There's also a pretty good bricklaying program at a college an hour or 2 away from me that could also be interesting. I weren't the union, or they just teach you how to do it. I mean, you gotta go to college for everything? Welding is also of interest to me since being able to play with fire seems awesome. My stepbrother does it. He makes like $150 an hour at 25 since he has his red seal. Okay, that must be a very high level of certification. I could potentially apprentice with him, but welding doesn't seem quite as interesting to me as masonry does. I also might have an interest in becoming a train engineer / driver in the future, but I feel I would need some experience on another trade before getting hired on to do that. Well, I mean, you got to help me out here. What's the difference between blowtorching metal and laying bricks? Both of them are going to... I mean, I know there's an art, there's a craft, and a skill involved, but, I mean, you make it seem like bricklaying is going to be some kind of, like, intellectually rewarding experience. I don't think it is. They're both going to be somewhat tedious jobs, and between the two, I would just go with the money. But hey, man, nothing to shake your head at $40 an hour. It's just going to be cold as hell out there in Edmonton. But man, if your stepbrother is making $150 an hour at minimum, I would follow up on that and say, okay, what are the steps I got to do to get where you are? That's what I would do. Because $150 an hour, that's $300,000 a year, and even that's Canadian. So when you convert it to the United States, that's like making $36,000 a year. I mean, that's at least about $250,000 a year in the United States to adjust it for our American listening audience. But yeah, I mean, you got a guy who already is in the business, He'll show you. He'll tell you what you need to do. And for what I presume is going to be maybe a little bit more work and education, you can make thrice the amount of money you'd make being a welder is what you would out in some godforsaken place in Canada. Although maybe that's why he's making $150 an hour. Yeah, he could be over at Fort McMurray. The military. I could join the Canadian Forces as a repairman or auditor. This would keep my other two career paths open, but the military benefits in Canada aren't nearly as good as they are in the United States. So that's because we are your military. I was making fun of Canada one time. Like, what's your Navy like? Like a rowboat. And I looked into it. It's like 2 frigates, maybe a tanker. I mean, it's just so pathetic. I just hate fucking Trudeau and all the, why can't we be like Canada? Because we don't have a large country like the United States essentially paying for our military. They have free healthcare. Yeah, because they don't have the fucking military. They have ours. The military, I could join the Canadian, I'd be keeping my 2 career. Military benefits aren't as good. I could still get a free education, but I would have to dedicate myself to becoming an officer that for almost another 5 years or so. I definitely have the athleticism to make it through basic training since I throw discus at a provincial level for my school right now. Well, that's kind of cool. I just can't decide whether it would be worth it without the education benefits you guys get down. So, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of militaries out there. You think they get paid like no, they don't. The United States they really take care of their soldiers. But the Canadian military, and then I was in the Canadian military. I mean, if you're a sniper, now that'd be pretty cool because Canada has the best snipers in the world. But not the Navy. God almighty, not the Navy. And not your Air Force. What do you guys? You just got slingshots for paper airplanes? Is that your fighter planes? Hey, throw them at the Russians. I'll show you. Appreciate Cappy stuff. My thoughts are all over the place. No, totally understandable, dude. You're only 17. You're not supposed to. All right. Let's go through. All your options are good. All your options are good. The weakest one I'd say is the accounting one, because accounting is becoming more commoditized. I would think that you would have to. You got to get a CPA, and if you're going to put that much effort into an you got to go to CPA. Actuarial science is a better one. Higher pay. You got to take multiple tests, not just one CPA exam. Although I think the CPA you take 3 different segments of one exam. But the actuary is another good field to go into. Out of the 2, I recommend you do actuarial science. But nothing wrong with becoming a CPA. Then you could go be self-employed and do whatever. The thing, just as long as you're not majoring in any other stupid business, and that's the one drawback. When you go to Ryerson or McGill or whatever leftist shithole, they're going to make you take a bunch of leftist, indoctrinating, Marxist bullshit crap that has nothing to do with being an actuary or a CPA. And honestly, that would lead me to what I think is the best option. That'd be you becoming a welder. The bricklaying, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to do physical labor and you got that connection with your stepbrother, I would try to emulate what he does. And the reason why is you can always go back to become a CPA or an actuary. You are not always going to have the physique to work the trades. And that's a problem a lot of the older men in the trades face, is their body just poops out on them. You're working in HVAC or pipe fit. I mean, it takes a toll on your body. And if all you know what to do is pipe fitting or electrical work or mechanical work, and you get arthritis, you get some kind of thing that you can no longer physically do it, what's your plan B? But if you can make $150 an hour, that's just going to make you're not going to make that as a CPA, honestly. You're not going to make that as an actuary, even on a good day. I'd find out what your brother's got going on there. And look, then you work your 5-6 years, even at $75 an hour. You work your 5-6 years, maybe a decade, and then you got a shit ton of cash. Don't be one of these stupid, they're not dude bros, these hicks, these blue-collar mining, welding, tradesmen hicks who go and piss away their money in a Dodge diesel Ram truck. Do not be that fucking idiot. Don't be like these idiots I saw in the Bakken, all right, or in all of Wyoming. Fucking get a standard work truck, save all your fucking money, buy yourself a fucking house or something like that, and then when you're like, okay, I'm done with the trades, my physical body, then go become an accountant. Then do something more clerical or office worky that you could do until you die. But right now, that $150 an hour is really, like, if you can do that, that's the best one. Military, again, as much as I want to give the Canadian military shit, they actually, you know, they're soldiers. It's a real military. What 5 soldiers you have. It's honorable. But yeah, the pay isn't as good. And I think you'd just be wasting your time. I really just think you'd be wasting your time. The United States makes it so you don't waste your time. You're like, well, we'll get you training, we'll get you set up, we'll get you pimped out and ready to go. So whether you stay here or not, you are set. Canada, that just seems like, no, that doesn't. So I would not even consider the military a path. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would, if I was in your situation, I would interview your stepbrother and find out how to do what he's doing. Do the trades first. You know, and you can even do this. Do the trades, save up a ton of money, and then then you have enough money for college, even some living expenses. And then unlike every other little 20-something, instead of working and going to college or going into debt, you could just go to college and relax. I mean, that would actually be an enjoyable experience, even if you have to tolerate the leftist Marxist bullshit. Like, where your job is just to go to school during the daytime, do your homework at night, and then you get to chill out and relax and work out and go do that. You can play more discus, whatever you want to do. That'd be a much more pleasant way to go about through college than the torturous hell that most younger people do. So, all right, hope that helped out. Everybody got questions? Go to the only place that gives you the truth for answers, assholeconsulting.com, where we will make sure that you do not fuck up your life like the millions of Western kids and parents and adults have done before. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.